morning everyone, and welcome to a full tutorial on how to take tomatoes and various food items out of the freezer and turn them into a beautiful sauce for in your jar. This is great to do this in the winter time, in the time when you don't have work outside. So all of these items were thrown into the freezer, and now we're going to take these tomatoes and we are going to make pasta sauce. So this could be a pizza sauce or a spaghetti sauce interchangeably. So this is what we have. We have two big, large kettles. All it is onions and peppers, all the things that I can add from a pizza sauce. There's no meat in here, nor is there any kind of mushrooms. We also added a little bit of some, let me show you here. We also added some of my, what is it called? We also added some tomato paste. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cook this down because there is a lot of water in here because this is frozen items. So we're going to go ahead and cook this down. And then I'll show you what we do next. The whole thought process of this video is pasta sauce. So it is a tutorial, which will be a smaller video, but it is a full video to show you exactly what to do. All right, we're gonna go put this on the stove. It's gonna take at least 30 minutes. We're gonna cook it down, and then I'll come right back to you and show you step number 2. All right, just like that, we're on step number 2. Now I'm gonna start with one kettle at a time. I have 2 of them. So this is what it looks like. I did cook it down just a slight bit, but you see there's lots of chunks in here. We wanna blend this smooth, and that's where a stick blender is your best friend. This is really nice to have because it doesn't take up much room. You can use this to blend, puree. It has attachments where you can actually use it for making cakes. But we're gonna go ahead and we're going to turn it on. All right, now I'm gonna have some of my homemade pizza mix. I will share with you the video of that. Now, I'm not sure how much to put in. We're gonna just try a little at a time. All right, I'm gonna take a spoon and give it a taste test and then see what else it needs. Or if it doesn't need anything. That's really, really good. I think that's just about perfect. So this one I'm going to cook down a little more. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the second kettle that's on the stove. All right, the pizza sauce is finished. And now all we're going to do is we're going to put it into our clean jars. These jars have been washed. They're not hot, but this pizza sauce isn't that hot either, so it's fine to use it this way. Now, this is the method I do. Everybody's kitchen is different. So everybody's gonna have a different way of doing things. All right, the question is, how do you fill a canner? Let me show you. So this is my Presto canner. I already have the Tefal canner on the stove. We are going to put enough of water in here. When you start canning and you can a lot, it all is automatic. So we're going to have enough of water that it's like 2 or 3 inches from the bottom of your jar. Let me show you. Just giving a footnote, I am pressure canning this pizza sauce. You can water bath can it, but when you pressure can, you don't fill the water up past the jars. You only put in a couple inches of water. When you are water bath canning, you want to make sure that your jars are filled to the top with the water that goes out over the lids. But pressure canning, you only put in a couple inches of the water. Now back to the video. All right, the second canner is ready to put on the stove. We put the lid on and lock it into place. Now we're going to let it steam. For me, it takes 30 minutes. It takes me long. Once you have a constant steam, then you're going to put your weight on it, and then once it reaches the 10 pounds pressure on your gauge, this is the only kind of canning I do. I have a pressure gauge. It's very important for me to watch the gauge. So when it's 10 pounds pressure, then we're going to count about 30 minutes. All right, so I have just enough of sauce for lunch today for spaghetti and then for pizza tomorrow. I'm going to open up one of my cans of ground beef. Now, I always can my ground beef already sauteed, and I add beef broth to it. I don't ever can meat raw. All right, we're gonna add the ground beef. And now we have the spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, all ready for when we make our meal, and then I'll show you that here at the end of the video. So this was a full tutorial on how to take frozen old tomatoes and turn them into an amazing sauce. And we're going to have the pressure canner on for about 35 minutes at 10 pounds pressure. We're going to let it go down in pressure on its own, and then I'll take it out of the canner. And then we'll have some lunch. All right, the button is up. That means now we're going to start watching. When it gets to 10 pounds pressure, then we will count for 30 minutes. You will have to adjust your heat accordingly. So while the canners are cooking away, I'm going to take a minute break, come out in the fresh air, and sit down and share something with all of you. Many years ago, I was part of one of the owners of a group that was Rebel Canning. And at that time, years ago, Rebel Canning wasn't water bath canning low acid items. It was recanning things, and it was pressure canning things that normally people wouldn't pressure can, and so forth in this group. Well, I really like Rebel Canning in my way. So we all have different ways of doing things. I don't pressure can. I don't water bath like meats and stuff like that. I won't touch that. But there are many ways that you can be a Rebel canner that doesn't have to do with water bath canning low acid foods. So I wanted to show you this because these books are amazing. And this is Tammy. Tammy wrote these books. This one here is the Rebel Canner's Recipe Files. This is from her big Facebook group. And this here has all kinds of recipes that you wouldn't see normally in just the regular canning books. Now, your kitchen, your rules. I learned that the hard way many years ago. But it has barbecue sauce, sweet and tangy. We're talking about hundreds of pages. This is 513 pages in this one. And I really just want to say, if you love canning and you love canning different things and you want to try stuff, it's amazing. So we have kiwi, strawberry, jam, and blueberry butter, refried beans. And it talks about water bath canning vegetables. That's up to you if you're interested in that. But it just all kinds of things. Now she has this one, and she has this one, and she has another one. I have all three of them. But this one is my favorite. I absolutely love these two, and I'm going to share with you in the description box below. She does not know that I am doing this for her, but I just wanted to share these because they are really a wealth of information as far as different things that you could can. It talks about ham gravy, glazed carrots, glazed cherries, make ahead mashed potatoes to freeze. It's all kinds of very unusual recipes. Here, sourdough starter. Of course, that's not canning, but this is all about things that are very unusual. Spicy tomato juice and brine for all kinds of things. So here you go. It's the two cookbooks, and I can't wait to show you our meal here in just a moment. All right, everybody, my meal is finished, and I'm making some up for hubby, and I can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow, what we're working on. I have to go out and wash the big kettles with the rain barrel, but other than that, I am done. I found a piece of garlic bread in the freezer as I'm cleaning out my freezers. It's a really good feeling to have food all winter long that was just laying in the freezer.